This next story I'll go to, I don't know how much this has to do with it. Joy Reid said JD Vance's wife, like JD Vance may dump, ready on what she said? The brown Hindu. Jeez. Wife for a white queen.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm. This is what Joy Reid just said. Play this clip. This is what she had to say.
They can't have the successor to MAGA be the guy with the brown Hindu wife.
Oh
They're also Christian nationalists. That ain't gonna work. That's why he's throwing his wife under the bus. Poor Usha. Or she's in on it, right?
And
she's
playing slap and tickle with Erika Kirk.
Look at these two. Oh my God.
Seen. Yeah,
That's the
she's
face.
like in her Tammy Faye era.
Okay. Holding on the back of his head and rubbing on his head.
Some weird shit.
Baby.
Loving life. These liberal, disgusting women, bro. Look at them. Look at them.
I'm like,
all
you're not
surgery.
doing that right thing. You're supposed to be a widow. You in leather pants.
Yeah, that's her shirt.
What's her shirt say?
F Trump.
Could you
F
imagine
ICE.
if
Wouldn't it
Free
be
Palestine,
the
free DC.
most
Does it
perfect
say?
fairy tale, MAGA fairy tale?
Occupy
If
Chicago.
He sees the light that he needs a white queen instead of this brown Hindu. I mean, I'm not saying that's happening.
right.
Or maybe that Usha's not even in on it. Maybe she's whatever. But that's one entrant.
Well, so apparently Usha was seen without a ring on. And they went to, that's probably what happened, all this other stuff. Who knows? But Tom, you have a theory on this, on what they're doing with Usha. By the way, just so everybody knows on how I feel, guys. A married woman shouldn't put her hands on the back of a man's head. If my daughter is doing this is me. You guys can judge me and say, Pat, what the hell are you talking about? What a freaking crazy thing. That's just how she's and greets everybody that way. My daughter, I would tell my daughter, babe, he's married. Don't put your hands on a man's back of their head. You're going to make him uncomfortable or make her uncomfortable. No wife is going to like when a man another woman puts their hands on the back of a man's head. So I don't like this right here. I don't want you guys to think, and by the way, we're fans of Turning Point USA. I'm just giving my thoughts. I know I'm going to get shit. Oh, you're never going to be invited again. I'm not talking about that. All I'm saying is I agree. That's a little bit too much to put your hands up there. It's not a good look with the vice president. So is Usha going to be okay with that? Maybe. Maybe she's not. But probably what percentage of wives would not be happy if another woman put their hands like that on on their husband's head? What percentage?
Mine's going to take a chunk out of you with a driver.
But I want you to actually think about it. No. I want you to think about it. Let's ask married people, okay? Rob, what do you think? What percentage of wives would say, babe, why is she putting her hands on the back of your head? What do you think the percentage is?
90? I can't imagine walking home and not having that conversation with my wife. 90% of women would have a problem.
So fair
with
enough.
that.
Having said that, so I understand that that's not good for JD's look. But Tom, you have a very interesting theory on what you're seeing that's taking place. Go ahead, Tom.
Yep. Well, first of all, to top this off, you asked Rob, and I'll answer it as well. About 2 weeks ago, didn't you and I have a conversation? We were at a business event, not one of ours, but it was a business event. And I said, wow, Pat, that guy's wife is a little touchy. She just met me and she was touching my shoulder.
I mean, you're irresistible, Tom.
No. You know, they keep like this.
No, Tom.
While we were all talking.
Construction
No. I didn't feel comfortable with it. And I thought that she was being a little bit too friendly and touchy with people. So this is real. It's a real thing.
We literally talked about this 2 weeks, all jokes aside. We did.
We did.
Yeah.
And we said, hey, I'm not comfortable with that. So here's what I think's going on. We've seen the numbers on Kalshi. JD is over 50% probability on Kalshi and a lot of other places and polls. He is the guy. So guess what? That makes him the target. The Democrats are trying to figure out who they run, and they are in disarray internally. There's a lot of them. The establishment does not want Gavin Newsom. I'm on record they don't. They like Pritzker. Now, is Pritzker going to get the full support? No. But the point is they're in disarray, whereas there is a logical line that right now is happening on the Republican side. And even Rubio is stepping back. He has not said the words, I will not primary JD, but he has said things that are supportive and they're showing unity that maybe I'm not going to, run to be the top guy. I believe that what they are getting is they are getting their marching orders, and we are seeing hit pieces on JD. There's been, he uses profanity too much, like he used at the Air Force Base. He was talking about turkey, and he says, you're full of shit. You don't like turkey. How many other days during the year have you actually cooked an 18-pound turkey? Oh, listen to where he talked. That's not very statesman-like. I believe the media is all in cahoots, and they are being pushed by the DNC. We have to undermine JD. How do you undermine JD? You go after him. You go after his wife. You go after him. You go after anything you can. You go after the fact that he was a little too... Is he loyal? He was always with Vivek, and now he's not with Vivek. Is JD loyal? Has he supported him for governor? There's all this stuff going on, and I think Joy Reid is a tool, and then she's been used more than she'll ever admit on things like this in the media, and I believe they're out there, and this is a concerted campaign to start attempting to undermine JD Vance because they believe he's the target. When Trump's done, JD's the target. We have to figure out who our guy is going to be, our woman, our candidate. But man, we got to get after it, and I think it's happening right now.
Yeah, I don't disagree. And by the way, there's a lot of things. JD's about to get scrutiny in ways he's never had it before, and it's well deserved. You're choosing to be a president.
It's a test.
And guess what? It comes with the territory. So you'll hear the questions. His kids, like his kids are named. One of the kids is named Vivek. The other two are American names. Why did you allow your kid's name to be Vivek? 1 out of 3. I think if it's like you get 1, I get 2, fine. When you're married, I got 4 kids. We were kind of picking and choosing what names are going to be. It's funny. We were talking about it this morning. Patrick Dillon, Brooklyn, son of Brooklyn, right? Okay, we're going through the names. Then his ties to Palantir. His ties to
Peter
Thiel. And so that part is going to get investigated and deeper, and guys are going to react to it. And they should. You're running to get the biggest job in America. People are going to want to know, are you going to be bought or not? Because President Trump is already a billionaire. It's tougher to buy him. But maybe JD is not. And coming out of college, getting a big job that he got right off the bat, guys are going to question it, and it's going to go even higher. The level of scrutiny is going to get higher. Expect a lot of weird stories to come out the next 24 months. And everybody in the market should scrutinize whoever's going to get the big job, your party, the other side's party, and that's all fair play. If you don't like it, don't get in the arena. It's kind of how this works. Like when people send messages, and I'm okay with any of the messages of disagreement you send. I'm just not okay when it's the messages anyways, I'm not even going to get into that. But, some of the messages that are like about your family and your kids and death threats and stuff like that, that's just uncalled for. But to me, the moment you get on camera and you give an opinion, do not be afraid when people push back and they disagree with you. Did you hear what that person said? Yeah, because I had an opinion on it. They have the right to react to what I had to say. That's open game. So, but to me, what Joy Reid did and what she said there, what happens with them, it's almost like do you see a pattern with everybody when is the last time, Rob, a vice president or a president got a divorce?
No, it doesn't happen.
When is the last time a vice president or president got a divorce after being in office? After being in office. It's probably happened.
I really wish I could have got divorced.
Chill, Bill.
Yeah, it's probably happened. Good question.
There hasn't.
A recent. Ronald Reagan was the first, but he was married before.
He had a short marriage in Hollywood.
Okay, Trump was also, it was before. So Bill Clinton, former vice president under Bill Clinton, Al Gore separated from his wife Tipper in 2010. But that was a separation. Okay, so that's the first one. So Al Gore didn't want to publicize it as a divorce, but is Al Gore still with his wife? Rob, are they still together or separated?
Her name's Tipper.
Wow,
yeah.
Tipper,
What a name.
And do you remember Al Gore said that Eric Siegel's novel Love Story was inspired by myself and Tipper?
They're not still married?
Liar.
So it looks like they're separated, but they're not divorced.
Okay, so guess what? But guys,
means
that's
a
not a long
divorce.
time ago.
It's a divorce.
15 years ago, there was a separation. So I don't want to put a thing here that there's no way there's anything going on between a marriage. I'm 80% chance Usha is furious with what happened, that they with the hands on the back of the head. And if that's my sister or friend or anybody that I see, even somebody I don't know, I would say, I don't blame you for not being happy about it. You think Melania is going to be happy if somebody puts their hand on the back of President Trump's?
Where was that incident?
Was at a Turning Point USA event when she brought him up.
What year?
And she said, he reminds me of Charlie Kirk. 6 weeks ago.
Yeah,
So anyways, look, she's going through a lot of things. I don't know what it's like to lose a husband like Charlie Kirk, so everybody mourns in a different way. So I don't want to judge, but I have not commented on this at all, purely out of respect. And this is the least amount of commenting you're going to get from me, or most amount of commenting you're going to get from me on this topic. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just say a couple of things. Number one, I'm not sure why we put any credibility or credence to anything Joy Reid says. Is there anything that comes to mind that she's gotten right? When you go, you know what? Joy Reid, what a great point. I can't think of one. Not one.
It's not about
she's a
right.
race baiting,
It's a hit.
victim mentality, identity politics, clickbaiting, former MSNBC canceled somewhat journalist who's now a mediocre podcaster
wearing a
with white
horrible
liberal
t-shirt.
women wearing a victim mentality shirt.
And those two are horrible.
That's Joy Reid.
Those two are horrible
Of course,
as well.
don't even get me started
Don't
on
even
these
get
far
me with
left
those
liberal
faces.
women. They're the worst things in America besides the illegal immigrants that are killing National Guardsmen. Regarding divorce, I've said this before. I never thought that Michelle Obama and Barack Obama were getting divorced, even though there were rumors. Even when the Trump and Melania rumors happened after 2020 when he lost the election, never bought into that. If Bill Clinton isn't divorcing Hillary Clinton, politicians don't get divorced. Al Gore, Tipper Gore, he wouldn't even divorce her. He just stayed separated. So to me, this is nothing. If JD Vance wants to be the president, which I think he's probably the most likely person in the Republican Party at this point, he's not going to get divorced. Right now, when's the last time a president was single in office? I don't know.
I don't think
It
ever.
was Abraham Lincoln, whatever it was.
whatever.
So the point is this. It would be shooting yourself in the proverbial foot to get divorced.
There was a
You're still
rumor-
going to have these little brown kids running around.
There was a
with the
rumor-
stepmom. Not going to work.
There was a rumor that said he's going to leave her for Erika Kirk
Jeez.
because she's the
Crazy.
perfect wife.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's like, okay, by the way, do you know who got a lot of heat on this topic that was running for president that I think at the peak it was at 19 to 21%? Do you know who? Who is one of the most brilliant political minds of the last 50 years? Do you know who? Newt Gingrich.
Yeah,
Newt
whatever.
Gingrich went through this when his wife, I believe, had cancer, Tom, or something happened. And he got the amount of criticism that he had to answer for what happened when he left her or something like
And
that.
remember that
happened.
exchange that he had
Yeah.
where somebody questioned him from CNN, I believe, Rob, and he's like, you know what? You opened a political debate with that shows about you and your character. You remember that
Yeah, of
clip?
course I do.
I love that. I love that moment. He checked his
So
ass.
what I'm saying is, like, if he does that, trust me, when you get into these levels where you're about to be the leader of the free world, what is that Manchurian Candidate movie? Is that what it is?
Oh, yeah.
With the mother in the back. Who's the mother? The actress that has won a bunch of different
man.
awards.
Glenn Close?
No, not Glenn Close.
Oh, the Meg the girl that they say she's the greatest actress
She
of
was
all
Meryl
time.
Streep.
Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
She's lost
Who,
her mind.
When they sit,
Denzel.
do you think behind closed doors, they'll sit there and do things like this? Well, it would be better if your wife was this.
Yes.
It would be better if you wear this shirt. It would be better if you do this.
100%.
You think they think like that?
I have a different perspective.
For sure they
I
do
don't
that.
know. But all I'm saying is, look, if that, let's say the 0.001% chance that happens, the amount of objections you would need to overcome for having left your wife for a white wife,
Of course.
you're done.
Yeah.
You're handing the presidency to Marco Rubio
Yeah.
or somebody else.
Can I,
or the Newsom.
Oh.
Words word.
Can I say why?
Especially in
essentially-
modern, diverse
of course.
America.
I don't see it that way because some great friend of mine, he wrote a book called Your Next 5 Moves. Once they selected JD Vance and his beautiful brown wife to be the vice president and they won, they said, all right, next 5 moves, Trump's a 1-term president. JD, if you fulfill what Trump is doing, you'll be a 2-term president if all things go according to plan. So who's your wife, first lady? They probably already vetted this, my opinion. I don't know. So that's my assumption on that. Number 2, I have a different opinion on their closeness, Erika Kirk and JD Vance. At the end of the day, I assume they're just friends. And what do I mean by that? So last night, I don't want to name names, I had dinner with one of my best friends. His wife is also one of my best friends. Like, that's how close we are. To tell you that I've danced with her in a club, lifted her up, it's friendship. It's nothing more than that. And my friend knows that how we already, we've been friends for 20 years. So I'm not saying that they've been friends for 20 years. So I don't look at it just because she gave him a hug and touched the back of his head, that it's that flirtatious or that bad. My opinion, I could be wrong. I don't see any salacious, weird things going on here. Could be wrong. But in my opinion, that's friends, that's affection, that's pain, that's grieving. That's just a bond that they have.
Did you
My
wait?
opinion.
You were dancing with your friend's wife at a club, like dancing with her. Did you do like the dirty dancing, like you picked her up and held her, like that type of dancing?
And I
Like I need to know what were you?
How did we get here?
By the
I
way,
think this
what I'm
is a
saying
hit.
is,
Let me-
you
let
don't
me
think you
just-
can be friends with a friend's
Let me
wife
just
and
put
not
it.
have.
No, you can't.
You can't be friends with a
Zero.
friend's wife.
Like hang
Zero.
out with
I
her
can't.
without him there?
no,
can't.
not hang. What?
No.
Zero. You can't. That's it.
So that's
zero.
where you draw the line. You
No,
can't be friends with your
you-
friend's wife.
Listen, his wife is my sister.
I know.
No, wait a minute. She's my sister. But there is nothing I can do that is more than just a sister that's going to make Tom even 1% uncomfortable. If there's a risk, if I ever meet your girl, the day you get married, you will see how I'm going to be to your wife. I'm going to look at your wife like my daughter or my sister, period. I ran a business for the longest time, and there was a lot of knuckleheads who followed your rule. We're just friends. We're just, no, not under my watch. I've never been a fan, ever been a fan. I want Rob to come with his wife to any of the parties I put together and have nothing to worry about. If he gets a 5% fear that somebody did something with his wife, I am a horrible enemy if you do something like that. I don't play those games. I don't like it. I don't think it's appropriate. And I think it's basic protocol and etiquette. There's certain etiquette. Now, you grew up in Miami. Don't get me wrong. I understand the party life. I was in it for a long time. And then I stepped away. And there was a lot of stupid things we did as young men. I'm not going to sit here and act like we walked on water and we didn't do anything dumb. Trust me, there's a lot of stories of what we did. But there came a moment where I said, nope, not playing these games. Anything that happens here, I'm treating her that way. And I told everyone, look how many of our guys in our company, how many divorces do you hear about in our company?
Not many.
We don't play around with stuff like this. Every one of our guys in our company, they're my daughters or my sisters. That's how I look at them. And those husbands love this approach. And they will never in their mind ever even have a thought that anybody can have anything around us with them. If it happens, I can't control it when I'm not there. But I lean towards this mindset. You can call it the mob mindset. You can call it the mafia, whatever you want to. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. To me, it's just a very man's protective mindset that I have, that this is the approach we take. And long term, if I'm a gambling man and I have to choose between these two mindsets, I'm putting my entire life savings on this side with this mindset. That's where I'm putting my life savings. And I'm going to raise my girls for hopefully be that way. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to raise my boys to also be that way, because God knows all our kids are going to be tempted to do some stupid things just like we were tempted to do as well.
I'll give you a little bit of credence here. A lot of what you're saying is your business model. I'm not saying everything.
It's not credence. I'm not looking for credence.
No, I'm just saying why I understand your perspective here. You built your company off couples. So you need to set boundaries very clear.
This is not what it is, Adam.
But what do you?
This is not about a business model, buddy.
This is life. This is beyond.
This is not business model. This is life.
Okay.
This is how I am with everything in this area. If that's your girl, I have a basic rule. No one's going to touch your girl. No one's going to do anything to her. This is my way of doing things. My way of doing things. It doesn't matter what it is.
I get it.
When one day you get a wife, you're going to feel very comfortable with me being around your wife. And you will sit there and say, if your wife ever wants to talk about, hey, Pat, what do you think about me and Adam, stuff like this? I remember one time something happened. I'll tell the story and I'll just move on to the next thing. One of the guys that, one of my first guys who does very well financially, very smart guy, very talented guy. Early on in his career, he went through a nasty divorce. And a wife messaged me afterwards on Instagram and text. And I got a bunch of messages. Hey, would love to get on a call with you and would love to talk to you and all this other stuff. Do you know how many times I got on the phone with her? Because I think it's fair for you to hear both sides of the story. How many times do you think I got on the phone
Probably
with her?
zero.
Why do you think that is?
You don't want to hear your side of the story.
I'm not the guy that says I'm friends with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
The guy was my number one.
Of course.
He is the relationship with me. I didn't have a relationship with the wife. She wanted to give me. There is no reason for you and I to speak whatsoever. I don't need to hear your side of the story. Marriage is tough. It's difficult. You guys didn't make it work. I am not trying to dump on it. It's very, very hard to make a marriage work. You move on. These are very sensitive topics in life. When later on things happen, you ask yourself, what kind of kids do you want to raise? What kind of values you want to build it on? These are some of the things you got to be thinking about. And by the way, I see you with your friends, and I see how you guys are together. I see it, and it's great. But I don't know what it is to be in that community in Miami, grown up in that. I don't know if that wiring would have worked with me. If I walked up with my girlfriend and he saw my girlfriend, you're too friendly with my girlfriend, you're not my friend. You can't be my friend if you're too friendly with my girlfriend.
Believe me, I'm with you on that. But also, some onus is on the girl.
Oh, no, you're right. No. By the way, that part I'm with.
Okay.
But let's just say, you don't think girls have tried, you don't think married women have given me their key cards to go upstairs?
Yeah, I know.
What do you think's happened with me? You don't think I go to events and like, hey, man, and the line is always the same thing. You know, I wish my husband was more like you. He's just so lazy. He doesn't do this. You know, would you mind? Here's my key card.
You inspire me.
What kind
You're
of
a
weird
leader.
things do you think happens when you're
Yeah.
now? And by the way, again, I'm not saying this to put myself on here that in the future I'm not going to make a mistake. I don't want that unnecessary type of pressure. This is why I travel in threes with men. This is wherever I go with Vinnie or Tom or you or Mario or other people because I don't want to go places by myself. I have a rule of not having certain things I follow. I don't even want to get off topic here because we got a lot of other things to
No, I think this
get
is
into.
very much on topic. Because
Yeah.
circling back here, I don't see JD doing anything out of the ordinary. That's
this
my
isn't on
opinion.
JD. I'm not putting this on JD. Because so for example, imagine I'm role playing, Vinnie, you're thinking about it, Tom. So you go up and Erika puts her hand on the back of your head. What do I do? Do I go like this? Imagine that video going viral. You can't. You have to be like,
Okay.
that's weird. Awesome. Next. I know I'm going to have a conversation with my wife afterwards.
We also
Right?
don't know what it's like to be Erika Kirk at this point.
That's
a lot
why
of
I
people
said
are
I
making
don't know.
assumptions about
I'm
her.
not saying I
she's
know.
She's grieving. And a lot of people think that she's up to weird things. I think she genuinely loved her husband, lost her father of her children, and she's dealing with it. And we have no clue the trauma that she's dealing with.
Nobody
at
is
this point.
saying that.
No, I'm saying
Yeah.
that.
You know what?
Nobody's saying-
Real men help her. Real men put boundaries up to help her from any weakness she may have. That's what a real man does. That's what a protector of a family and community does. You set boundaries up so in their pain, they can't get past the boundary. You help them. And then you whisper to your own wife, you need to reach out to her because she needs a woman in her ear to give her the kind of guidance.
Yeah, look, for us on the back end, you know, we contributed from our side. We've contributed to the organization. We contributed to her directly with the family and the kids, stuff that we did. No, we are for the Kirk family.
For sure.
Those kids, Charlie's kids, always can call me and get anything. I'm going to go out of my way to help those two guys, the kids that they have. Because to me, that's how special of a guy he was. I was a very, very big fan of Charlie. Gang, it's Black Friday. Odds are, maybe not our audience, but many people today are lined up to want to buy TVs on sale and all this other things. Here's what I learned a long time ago about Black Friday. I used to do that many, many years ago. And then I realized what I'm trying to do is increase my identity and support brands that match the values that I have. If a brand matches the value that you have, go support that brand. If it's not us, go to them. If it's us, support us. That's what we started doing. When I see local business owners do what they do here, I want to support them. And on Black Friday, there's good debt, there's bad debt. Every year when Black Friday comes, my suggestion, go buy an online course on how to do better in whatever skill set you're trying to learn. If it's business planning, if it's communication, if it's selling, if it's coding, whatever it is, invest into some online courses for yourself. So for us, this year, Black Friday, we're doing a couple different things. Today, 30% discount on 99% of our items on the website. Some are even up to 70% discount, okay? The only items that don't have that is the shoe because it's selling out every time we put them up. They sell out. So if you go on the site this weekend, you purchase any items, odds are you're getting 30 to 70% discount. And if you go on some of the offers that we have, it's just insane what things we got going on. But there's three special things. For anybody that purchases over $500, there's a mystery box. There's 19 of them left for those that place orders over $500. If you place an order over $500, these mystery box will be shipped to the first 200, 19 left. Number two, You place an order for over $2,000, which many, many people have already. You will get a shot to be in a drawing where we will pull your name. December 2nd is the last day. From today to December 2nd, we draw a name. That person will be flown in. Go to Casa D'Angelo with all of us here. Then we do podcast prep, and then you're sitting right here next to me on the podcast, and we're asking you about stories on Home Team. So go to vtmerch.com, place your order, and Rob, if you don't mind going to some of the hottest items that we have, the one that I was talking about, if you can go back one page. This is the hottest item link that we'll have. Of course, it's the shoes. Those are the online courses. All the online courses, the Vault Conference, any of that stuff that we've had, bundle, instead of $10K, you'll pay $997 for it. The shirt that I'm wearing, go a little bit lower. Those shoes which are selling out. The Stefano Ricci collaboration number ties that we have. The USA hat, go a little bit lower up. The Faith Over Fear shirts that we have. The Yetis that are few left. So this link, Rob, if you don't mind putting it below so people can go and place their orders. The watch collection case that you travel with your 3 watches in there. Just a bunch of great items. But this is it. If you're a wise shopper, this is the day to go to vtmerch.com, place an order, get gifts for folks on Christmas Day. That's going to be around the corner. Do your shopping at vtmerch.com.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.